Hello, Louisville. Guess who's coming to dinner? Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And guess who's coming to dinner? It's Miss Ann Hagan Grigsby, our Executive Director of DuValle Health Centers. Hey, Miss Ann.
Hello, Miss Janice. It's good
How
to
are
see you.
you?
I am blessed, not stressed, and glad to be with you tonight.
All right. So we have a whole lot to talk about here today.
Okay.
And I wanted you to come on because at first I still want you to participate in my own little personal PSAs for getting out and taking the COVID shot.
Okay.
But talk to our community, especially our African American seniors that have not taken the the shot yet. I wanted to get that light out of my face. And let them know why they should take it. Give them as much information as we can give them because we're here to. That's the main purpose of us being here today.
I am really glad to have this opportunity. I mean, they missed a phenomenal webinar last Tuesday online with the West Jefferson County Task Force where Dr. Mark Burns and Dr. Wayne Tuxon and Dr. Raoul Cunningham and Mr. Raoul Cunningham all
Hmm.
came on and talked with me about this exact same topic
Right,
because we hear that too many people are saying, I won't take the vaccine or
right.
I don't want to take the vaccine.
Or they
Now,
want to wait and see what happens to everybody else.
they want to wait and see what happens. And I mean, I have to be honest, a lot of my staff did. 48% of the Park Duval staff said, I'm going to wait and see. And they did not take the vaccine when it was first offered in January to us.
Mm, okay.
Now, many of them are trying to get it now, and it's really hard to find.
Right,
They had special dates for us, special times, and now you really have to kind of work hard to get the vaccine.
right.
I'm one of those senior citizens. People look and say, "Oh, and I'm over 70,"
Mm-hmm.
and then people say, "Well, I have chronic diseases." I have chronic diseases.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people say, "Well, I'm immunosuppressed." Well, I'm immunosuppressed. Well, people
Okay.
say, "Well, I have comorbidities." Have comorbidities. It means I have a bunch of different things going on inside this body, but I took the vaccine,
Right,
both doses of the
right.
Moderna vaccine, but I
Okay.
would take the Pfizer if it was available because the immune response that you get from taking the vaccine may be a little fever and chills and things like that. It will
Right.
happen. That's good actually. That's an immune response that tells you your body is reacting to this vaccine and it recognizes it and it's going to work. The problem
Okay.
is people think about that and say, "Well, I don't want to take it." But
And let me ask
the
you this. Let me see if I can help. Now, it used to be that when you got a flu shot, that they actually gave you the virus. But this is not that.
this is not a live virus.
No,
This is
right.
an
Okay.
RNA. Okay.
Okay.
And
So see, that's what I think a lot of people think that they're giving you the COVID-19 in order for you to be able to fight it. That's not what they're doing.
no, they're not doing that. I mean,
Okay.
they can't, they wouldn't do that. One, because this virus is so very new worldwide.
Right.
Two, we wanted something that most people would have positive reactions to and where it would work. And we wanted to be something that people could take and not be fearful about taking it. The side effects of getting COVID, the virus,
Right.
COVID-19, coronavirus disease,
Right.
are so much worse than any immune response you might have
Hmm.
to this, what's called mRNAs
Okay.
injection.
Okay.
You really need to be able to take the vaccine because, I mean, personally, I don't want to end up on a ventilator.
No.
I don't want to be in the hospital for 21 days. I don't potentially want to be at risk of not living because of something that could have been prevented.
We don't want to die because of COVID.
Nobody should want to die
Nobody
because of
should
COVID.
want to even look at that, the aspect of living that you could die if you don't take this vaccine, if you should get the virus.
And people have heard about, this is 95% effective here, and one's 90% effective. And um, the new one that may be coming out and approved soon by Johnson & Johnson, which is one dose, may be 80 to 85% effective.
Right.
And they're thinking, well, gee, that's not as good. People don't realize, and Dr. Burns explained this too, that the flu vaccine you get every year is only about 60 to 65% effective. So getting a
Ah,
vaccine that's 80, 85, 90, 95%
wow.
effective is stellar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one you want to get. We want to get this, and we want to make it available as many people as possible. And it's also effective against the new variants because they're
Right.
still COVID,
Right.
just that they're a little different.
Right.
Viruses mutate, they
Right.
change. That's why the influenza vaccine you get every year is a little different every year because viruses change.
They changed.
That's
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah.
They're just like people. We change.
Right.
It's just what we do.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. So, and now there are more, they're still doing the 70 plus. Now
It,
there's some places that have started doing 65 plus. Is that
it, it,
right?
it depends upon where you are in the country. Right now, if
Okay.
you're in Jefferson County, it's still 70 and up.
Okay.
Okay. It's still people who live in congregate housing, senior congregate housing. It's
Okay.
still people who work in schools, K through 12.
Hmm.
Still people who are healthcare workers, that's regardless of age. People who work in funeral homes, regardless of age.
Wow. Okay. I wonder why
We
they started mentioning that because then they starting to be a lot of more people coming to funeral homes actually to bury people that have had COVID, huh?
There are a lot of people, and I don't know why but we were told this from the beginning. When we were told groups
Oh,
1A
really?
and 1B, that wasn't what you saw publicized when you looked on the notices on the internet or anywhere.
Right.
But we were
From the
told
CDC.
personally by the health department, include people who work in funeral homes and include
Okay.
people who live in congregate living, senior citizen housing, and include people. Let's say you're a caregiver for someone who's a senior citizen
Right.
and you come to their home. My husband used to, when he was alive, had caregivers coming to our home every day to take
Right.
care of him so I could work. They didn't work in a big hospital or healthcare center, but they worked in my home and they were healthcare givers. So they were also eligible,
Right.
regardless of age.
Okay. Because they actually can go from home to home.
They can go from home to home.
Yeah.
They can go to their home and come back to the
Right.
person they're caring for.
Right.
So
Right.
you don't want to have any kind of opportunity for transmission of the virus.
Right. Right. Wow. This has really kind of turned us topsy turvy here, hasn't it?
It has turned everything topsy turvy. And the biggest turvy of the topsy is that we don't have enough vaccine yet.
And then I heard one of the governors from the other states say that they were going to send their um, National Guard to Kentucky or Tennessee because that's where all the vaccines are housed. Is that because they're out at the UPS
I
hub?
do not know anything about where the vaccine is housed
Okay, okay,
for the US.
okay,
As far as I know, ours is shipped in, is a federal shipment that comes into Kentucky, just like everybody else gets a
okay,
federal shipment.
okay, okay. And they still have to go through all the precautions of
And you have to go through the
keeping it
same.
refrigerated.
Oh yes, you.
Okay,
Okay. If I get vaccine, for example, I've only gotten 2 sets of 100 at
okay,
Park DuValle. 2 sets of that's all.
right.
Even though we have 20,000 patients, we have a whole lot of patients 65 and up,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. It's a couple of thousand probably, but
Okay,
still, I've only got 200 doses. But I can't send it to one of my other clinics. They shipped it to the main site. That's the only place I can keep it in the refrigerator. At
okay,
the Vaccines for Children approved refrigerator. I had a lady drive from Glasgow, Kentucky, because she's a Henry County patient. She
uh-huh,
drove all the way from Glasgow to Louisville because it was the only place she could get vaccine. And she was our patient. And so she signed up and drove here to get it.
Wow. That's why Raul said he went to Lexington to get his.
Yes, he did.
I said, what?
I know.
Yeah, because
So, I mean,
my husband and I, we were fortunate to sign up. We went to the Y on 18th and
oh,
Broadway,
great. Oh, fantastic.
and we were able to get both the both shots there. Now this week they had that you could have gotten shots at Quinn Chapel on Wednesday and walk
Right.
up, and I
Yes.
think Burnett Avenue they did today.
Okay, I didn't know about the Burnett Avenue one.
Yeah,
That's another challenge. There's not one system that tells you where everybody
right,
is getting vaccines. So I
right,
heard about Bates and St. Stephen's last week,
right,
and I heard about Ralph Avenue, and I heard about Quinn Chapel because I knew people from there or I
right.
attended those churches, and they people sent me emails, but there was no official notification about it.
But you know what I like to say to my listeners, my viewers, that if you hear about where there's going to be a center open up that you maybe can walk up to, do a Facebook Live and tell
Mhm.
people when it is and where it is, because you might be helping somebody that that's been looking for a place to go and get the shot that hasn't been able to get on the list to get an appointment.
I have friends, one of the board members of the West Jefferson County Task Force, when she heard about it, she called all the seniors she knew who don't use Facebook and
Right,
who don't have smartphones, still have flip phones, and that's okay, but
right,
you can't get all the information you need that way.
right.
And who may not have seen it on television or anywhere else or heard about it on the internet, she called them on the phone and said, "Look, you need to
I
get
don't
over to
see that
Quinn."
they do enough PSAs on the TV for it, and it's not targeted anyway. I want to see it targeted.
We talked about that a little at that Tuesday webinar about how we need to do some PSAs on television,
Right,
maybe some ads in the newspaper, because although many of the younger generation don't bother to read a newspaper or
right.
they'll just look at it online, so they'll see it anyway, a lot of seniors still get newspapers delivered to their home. If
There's
it's in the
still some
paper, they'll get it.
newspaper reading folks here in Louisville,
Yes,
Kentucky.
there are. And then, we could send postcards out too. How about
Right,
targeting everybody in the West End with the postcard with dates and where you can go?
right,
Because, for example, Broadbent Arena was open tomorrow for people to come and get their second doses,
okay.
but they're already fully booked. They are
Wow.
totally booked. I mean, you have to get in there fast to even get on the list because the amount is limited. Quinn Chapel, some people who I told about as soon as I heard about it called up. When they called, they said it was already fully booked.
Wow. I just think everybody that knows somebody that's 70 and older needs
Mhm.
to help them. Help them find a place where they can go and get their shot.
Everybody who knows somebody who's
Yeah,
70 and older. And that includes almost everybody in my family and my friends are
right.
all 70 and older.
That's where
And I
we
try
are.
to keep them abreast of where to go.
Right. Right.
Now,
Because you're right. Everybody doesn't look at Facebook.
no,
Everybody's not on Facebook. And that's why
no.
I'm saying I was looking for more PSAs on TV. I saw where all the pastors got together. Well, not all of the pastors, but about 10 of them got together. And they have a PSA talking about they've taken their shot. Reverend Cosby, Reverend Williams, um, Pastor Corey Scholl, how you
Okay.
pronounce his last name. Um, and it was about four or
Mm,
five more. And they did a really nice PSA. So
that's really good.
yeah, that's excellent. Because
See,
we've got to get the word out.
see, I'm one of the people who doesn't watch TV. So if it was on
Okay,
television, I didn't see it. People
right,
say, "Did you hear about such and such the news?" And I said, "If it came up in my news feed on my phone, yes, but I don't watch TV, so I didn't.
right, right,
So I would have missed that." But I'm glad they're doing it because when people see people they trust
right.
and people they know they can
That's
believe
the whole.
and who are going to
That's the
tell them
point
the
that
truth,
Raul was making. That they have to see people that they know and trust.
yes.
Those people in the community that knows they're gonna get it straight. They're gonna get
And
it straight.
and then just ask them if you have a question, they'll tell you the truth.
Right,
They'll
Right.
tell you how it felt. I mean, it didn't hurt at all.
Right.
Didn't
No,
hurt at all. Did I have some did I have some immune response afterwards? Yeah, I was a little achy and I had a little bit of chills and a little bit of fever for a couple of days, but then it was fine.
that was it. Well, only thing that hurt me was my arm.
Oh, it
And
did.
then
Oh,
I just rubbed it, and then this it was just a soreness of getting the shot.
okay.
But other than that, I mean, and that wasn't major, so
No.
we we
Major is
want them
being
to
on a
do it.
ventilator. Major is being on a
Girl,
ventilator.
tell me about it. I mean, I don't know, and I understood the hesitancy, but
Yes.
when you say, do I take the shot and lessen my chances of getting it, or do I not take the shot and possibly get it and be gone away from here?
Hmm.
I
That's
mean,
what happened.
that's a heck of a 50-50 right there to me.
That's a 50-50. I'd rather take my chances with the shot.
Yeah,
I mean, we had the same discussion I had with some of my members of my board and some who were faculty at U of L. And we all admitted brown people, we have hesitancy because of a lot of things that have happened in the past.
right.
But from what we were all reading, the research that was done well. The results that they were getting were really good.
Hmm.
And we were willing to step forward and get the shot and show people you have to do this.
Right.
We are going to be wearing masks till I'm 70, almost 71. I'll be wearing a mask till I'm 80 if we don't get this under control.
Look, now who that? Tell me that's not gonna mess up a whole lot of outfits.
Mm-mm.
Nobody wants to be wearing a mask forever,
I,
But if everybody followed the protocols, we could work our way out of this. I just don't understand why people don't want to help other people, because that's what it is.
help themselves and other people, their families,
Exactly.
their friends, their neighbors, anybody they come into contact with. And those outfits, I had a friend of mine, Angela Jackson Brown, make me some masks to match my outfits. So I have a picture, I have on a red and black, I think I have on a black suit, a red jacket, and a red and black mask because I said,
Go
okay,
ahead.
these are the colors I need. So,
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You know, and I think about that, and like when you said talking about the caregivers taking care of people, I miss my mother dearly, but
yeah,
I sure not would have wanted my mother to go through this.
no, I
This is
wouldn't
this
want,
is
I would not have wanted my husband to either.
yeah,
I
because
mean,
then because you're letting people into your home and you don't know where
yes,
they've been, and that's why it's necessary that's why they're essential, and this was necessary for them to be able to get the shots first
right,
in the
and
first group.
we can't control people's lives
No,
outside of where they are. I
not at
mean,
all.
just like my employees are working in healthcare, so yeah, we could mandate you wear gowns and masks and gloves and double mask and wear extra gloves and put on a face shield and do the whole
Right,
bit and wear
right.
dental wears booties and bonnets. I mean, just
Yeah,
put on everything,
yeah.
and then but I don't know what they do when they get home.
Right, right. We just
And I
have to
can
be.
tell them and
Yeah,
educate them, but I can't stand there and say, no, you can't go to that party or you can't hang out with that
right,
group of people or go to that place because there are too many people in there with no mask on.
right. Have more of your workers decided went on and decided to take the
Yes,
vaccine?
yes, they
That's good.
are. And, the challenge is finding the place to go to get it now.
Right, right.
I
Well,
mean,
I sure hope they get it worked out, and I hope every state gets its shipment, because if if some do and some don't, we're still between a rock and a hard place.
yes, President Biden said in an announcement that they're going to try to start getting more shipments out throughout the nation, and especially federal shipments. So it'll come directly to a federally qualified health center from the federal government instead of having to go through the state allocation process.
Right.
And they're going to start that, I believe, next week, week after next.
Oh,
I
that would
know
be great.
only one health center in Kentucky has, as far as I know, been authorized to get the federal allocation, and it's out in near Paducah. No, where are they? Pikeville, that area.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but it's because there's almost all the senior citizens in that area come to that health center sites
Right.
because they don't have a lot of specialists and all of that like we have in here in Louisville.
Okay.
So they look at the health centers demographics, their patient numbers from the year before, and based on the ages, they decided which ones would get this federal allocation. But it
Okay.
is coming, so we're hopeful that once that gets started, the pipeline will just open up and it'll be flowing downhill like water.
Oh, wow. Yes, that's exactly what we need. Exactly what we need. Well, I'm just so are there any other health issues that you want to maybe bring to the forefront, or issues that you're dealing with as far as any disparities?
Uh,
Um,
a couple of different ones. One,
okay.
people don't understand that um, if you get COVID and you have the flu, you are really at risk of not having a good outcome. So even though people seem to be forgetting about their flu shots, they need to get their flu shots anyway.
Okay.
I
Okay.
forgot my flu
That's good.
shot.
Okay.
I forgot my flu shot. I'm one of the ones who forgot their flu shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at home yesterday, and I'm at home today because I went to the doc over at Park DuValle, and the lab did the test. And they said, "Ann, you had the flu." And I went, "Oh no!" So I had to go back home. But
Okay.
I was blessed it wasn't COVID,
Right.
but I have the flu, and I forgot to take my flu shot. We have more influenza vaccine than the law allows. We have enough for anybody who wants a flu shot to get a flu shot. So
Okay.
protect yourself that way, one. Second thing, you might want to double mask for a while.
Yeah, they were talking about the double masking.
Just maybe a surgical mask like those blue ones underneath,
Right.
and then you can put something else on top of it. But just for a while, we don't
Just double
know.
mask.
Yeah, double mask. I mean, I went to the store to pick up when I left the clinic from getting all that testing done because I had to check to make sure I didn't have COVID again. I haven't had it before. They were to make sure I didn't have COVID, I didn't have strep, and I didn't have flu. And so I went home. I went and bought some liquid, part of the liquid diet, and they
Mm-hmm.
said drink a lot of fluid. So I went and stopped at the store, but I put on a surgical mask, and then I have a net gaiter that I doubled twice and then rolled that up
Mm-hmm.
over the surgical mask to go
Mm-hmm.
into the grocery store
Okay. Okay.
because you don't know what those people in the store have been doing. And
Right.
I still see people walking in grocery store with no mask on.
Right. Right. This is just it's ludicrous. So what we want to say is they need to if you know somebody that's a senior, and if you're a senior yourself, be looking in the newspaper, listening on the
Yes,
radio, on the TV for
yes,
upcoming places to get the shots or to get reservations to take. Because a lot of places you have to have a reservation, correct?
yes, yes. And someone called me today and said, no, it was yesterday, and said her father needed a shot. And I said I didn't know of anybody that was still had spaces available. And
Mm-hmm.
I knew Quinn Chapel was full. But then I just went online to the website and sent her the link and said, look, you may have to call every single one of these places in Jefferson County and see if any of them have a vacancy and
Right.
then put them in a slot.
Right.
But if kids, young people, or millennials, grandkids want to help their grandmom or their granddad, and they know they don't know how to use a computer, look it up for them and help them make an appointment
Right.
so that
Right.
they can get in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
And then
mean,
if you've got friends, if you've got friends that are 70 and older,
mm-hmm,
just when you talk to people, just in general conversation, find out who's got their appointment or who hasn't gotten their appointment, and you may be able to help them uh, find a place to get an appointment set up. We've got to help each other
we have to help,
through
and we
this.
still have to socially distance.
Yes.
They
Yes.
keep first it was 4 feet, then it was 6 feet. People are saying 8 feet now. I'm just saying, don't stand close to anybody if you can
Right.
help it.
Right.
And
So it's
sometimes you might have to wear a mask in your own home because if there's more than one person in your home and they're different ages and they don't
right.
know their own status,
Right.
well, they can give it to you. So if you're all in the house together and everybody in the house doesn't know they're COVID negative, you may need to wear a mask at home. It's
Right.
okay. Not convenient, but it's safe.
No, it's not convenient. But the safe part about it, I'm all for it. I'm all
Hmm.
for it. And thank you so much for joining us today. And if you ever want to have some news that you want to share with the community, please feel free to just send me an email. Okay, Janice, I got something I need to talk about. So
Okay.
I'll invite you back to dinner. But hopefully, at some point in the very near future, this Guess Who's Coming to Dinner will be at a dinner table. This
And,
conversation
and,
will
and
be held at a
okay,
dinner table.
okay. Are you gonna cook?
No,
Oh, shucks. I
that's
was
the
say I don't
last
do
person
that.
you
I
want to
don't do
cook
that.
is me. No,
Okay, we'll be.
I wanna promote black chefs in the city
Oh,
and
well,
have a
we have some
different
good
chef
ones.
to come and fix a meal for my guest. And
We
then they
have. Oh,
can
there's
talk
some
about
good
who
ones
they are,
too.
where their restaurant is, or where their maybe the chef at a different restaurant in the city, or have their
Hmm.
own. And that way, every time when we have the show, then we have a different black chef.
Okay, that would be phenomenal.
I'm excited about it. I'm
I
excited
am
about it.
too.
I'm just trying to just working my way through, trying to get all my audience. So, you know, if you know folks, if this is the first time maybe that you've known about this, because I know you work way too hard
I,
trying to keep
I'm
up with what's going on the internet.
I'm
But we're
usually
on
still
every
at work.
Monday and Friday.
Okay.
So at
If
7 o'clock, with
if
a different guest, and these are voices that are in the community, and like yours, we don't see you all the time, and sometimes we don't see some people enough. But I
right.
wanted to go get those voices that we needed to hear from, and
Okay.
yours during this point in time in our lives is a necessary voice. You're an essential individual today
I am
and every
blessed
day.
to be one. I am blessed to be one. And if you send me those links, I'll send it out to my whole distribution list so everybody
Okay.
knows to listen in on Monday and Wednesday, right?
M-
Monday
Monday
and
and
Friday.
Friday, beginning
Friday.
of the
Monday
week,
and Friday.
end of the week,
Okay,
7
Monday and
p.m.
Friday at 7 p.m.
So thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Hope
I
you feel
am
better. You feeling better?
as long as I keep spraying chloroseptic and
Okay.
taking acetaminophen, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm going back to bed.
I hear you. Take care of yourself. Tell the girls
You,
I said hello.
I will. I don't see them much, but I will tell them.
Okay,
Thank
darling.
you.
Take care.
You be blessed. Please take care of yourself.
I will.
Thank you
Me,
for what
I
you're
take care of
doing.
me and my hubby.
But see, that's a blessing right there.
I know.
That is a
I know.
blessing right there.
Everybody needs somebody. Thank
Mm-hmm.
the Lord I got me somebody.
Yeah.
He's blushing.
Oh.
And I'll talk to you soon. You take care of yourself.
Okay, you take care too. Let me know anything you ever need, and I'll be glad to share it with you.
Thank you, darling. Take
All
care.
right.
Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
All right. That was Miss Ann Hagan Grigsby running at Park DuValle. I mean, that is a health center that has been around and in our community for a very, very long time. And she's doing wonderful work over there. And I'm gonna put a clip that she sent me. She's got a YouTube clip all about talking about COVID from her perspective there at Park DuValle. That's going to be, I'm going to put it up I'm going to share it on my Facebook page on Jantastic Productions, as well as Jantastic Productions YouTube channel. It's a wonderful piece that they did on Ann and the Park Duval Health Centers. But just to say to everyone else, everything that we were saying, that's what we need you to do. We need you to look after each other, look after yourself. Go get the vaccine. If you know some senior citizens that need some help getting a reservation or finding a place, help them. Everybody's not real good on these on the phones with the internet and resourcing information. But help your grandparents, help your parents. You know, because that's what we need to do in order to eradicate this virus in our community. Because we need to get rid of this mess. It's a mess. Um, anything else? This is the end of the week. We have other news. Guess who's coming to dinner is a conversation about racism and racist policies. And again, this week we've had 2 deaths of young black men at the hands of police again. It's ongoing. It's almost like they've been given permission somewhere along the lines, and they just cannot keep getting. You cannot kill somebody because they jaywalk across the street. This qualified immunity, it's ridiculous. You are an individual with a job that does not make you more uh, in a position to take somebody's life because you carry a weapon. It's just not the way it should be, and it's another sad day to me. It just hurts my feelings that they just kill us like it's hunting season. So I have some other thoughts about that, but I won't go into that. I'll just say, everybody, stay masked up. Have a blessed weekend. I'll see you on Monday at 7 p.m. On Monday, we're going to have State Representative Attica Scott, and we're going to have the Executive Director of LCCC, Mr. Kevin Fields, next Friday. So until then, guess who's coming to dinner? Bon appetit. Have a good weekend. Take care.